Hi everybody, Cypher Plays here, and today we're going to be doing a tier list for the Warrior Legendaries. I just finished doing the Druid Legendary list, hence the same outfit, so if you're wondering that, that's why. But yeah, no, I'm excited for Warrior because it's actually one of my favourite classes in Arena. Ironically, it used to be my most hated, but I feel like Warrior's come such a long way since the beginning. Anyway, let's have a look at the cards. Let's go. Hey, so here's the tier list. So the first thing we have is the weapon. So that is called, I can't see the bloody name, Bulwark of Azanov. So it's a 3-mana 1/4 weapon, and whenever the hero takes damage, it basically blocks the damage and takes a durability instead. I think this card is absolutely awful. I'm probably going to go all the way down to E tier, because sometimes it can save your life, but if you attack with this weapon, you actually lose 2 durabilities on it. It's just so bad. I wouldn't touch this weapon with 5-foot pole if I could help it. Next one we have is Dr. Krastenov. So it's a 5-mana 4/4 with Rush, and whenever it attacks, give your weapon +1/+1. Now this is nice if you do have a weapon. Otherwise it's a 5-mana 4/4 rush, which can kind of suck. I'm going to slap it down at B tier because I actually do think it's really, really good, especially if you have a weapon. But yeah, it's kind of situational. That's why I wouldn't place it in A or S tier. But yeah, it has a pretty decent win stat, to be honest, so it's definitely worth picking. Next card we have is ETC God of Metal. Yes. I don't know if that's the right side. Oh gosh. So anyway, it's a 2-mana 1/4 whenever you summon a rush minion. Whenever you attack with a rush minion, sorry, it deals 2 damage to the enemy hero. It's dreadful. I would never pick this card in Arena. It actually has a very positive win rate in Arena for some reason on HS Replay, but I think I'm going to take my experience over those stats and everyone else's as well. Next we have is an 8-mana 4/8. Yep. I can't read the first bits. I apologize. I don't know why this is so small on here. At the end of your turn, summon a random minion with cost equal to your armor up to 10 mana. I feel like armor in Arena is very unlikely to have because you're always going back and forth. There's a lot of control happening right now, and I feel like it's so easy for the opponent to come back nowadays, especially with all the rush mechanics that you do get in Arena. I'm actually going to put in E tier because I think it's a bit understated, and I think it's going to be very hard to utilize this card. I think most of the time you're just going to get a 2-mana card, which kind of sucks. Next card we have is Grommash Hellscream, the OG, the legendary. This card's so it's a 4-mana 4 mana. God, we wish it was 4 mana. It's an 8-mana 4/9 charge. It has 6+ attack while damage, and do you know what's really great about that? It's the fact that there's so many org merchants and pings that you can use with this card, and it's just 10 damage to the face. We've got a schmuck. I think it's really good, especially like if you need something to trade into something. I think it's really, really handy. That being said, I think I'd still put it in B tier because I don't think it's as powerful as it used to be. I think there's a lot more removal tools in Arena, but it's still nice to have. Like, I would happily pick this, definitely. Next card we have is Iron Juggernaut. So Battlecry, shovel a mine into your opponent's deck, and when they draw it, it deals 10 damage. Now, the only drawback with this card really is, well, I say only, the first one is the stats, and B, your opponent have to draw the mine, and C, Arena games don't usually last long enough for your opponents to draw things. Like, on my side anyway, I swear every time I play Mancrick, I never see my opponent draw that card. It's really sad. So I'm gonna put it kind of like D tier. It's okay-ish. Like, I would pick it if I had to, but yeah, I wouldn't really advise it. Next card we have is Gaff Bladefist. So it's a rush, death rattle, shuffle a Gaff Prime in your deck. Now, the Prime is really good. So it's like an 8-mana 10/10. Give your hero 10 armor after it attacks, and it has rush, of course, so it is really, really nice. But if I was to consider this card without like potentially drawing the Prime, maybe like B tier, Probably more likely C, but I think I'll put in B tier because you do get the prime, and if you do draw it, then it can actually be game changing. Next card we have is Kresh, Lord of Turkmen. So the Frenzy is gain 8 armor, which is nice. 6 mana, 3/9 as well. So I think it's very likely you get the Frenzy off because Burley's not in. There's not many like high attack rushes at the moment. And then you have equip a 2/5 Turtle Spike, which is just a 2/5 weapon. I think it's nice value for what it is. Again, I think it's B tier. A lot of B tier legendaries here. But yeah, no, I think it's actually pretty nice. I would actually pick this card. I think it's pretty solid. Next card we have is Lord Baroff. I think Lord Baroff is brilliant. So basically, battle cry, set the health of all other minions to 1. Death Rattle deal 1 damage to all minions. And I feel like Warrior can utilize this card pretty well. I'm going to put it in A tier because it's such a nice removal to have. So that's going to be slammed right there. Next we have is Overlord Sawfang. So resurrect 2 friendly frenzy minions and then it deals 1 damage to all of them. So basically, so any frenzy minions that die, it will summon them and it will trigger their frenzies. I think this card's actually quite nuts. Now, obviously, it does rely on you actually having those frenzy cards in your deck, but I think if you do pull off, even if you just pull off one, genuinely, even if you just pull off one, I think it's still an A tier in its own right. I think it's a fantastic card. So yeah, it definitely belongs up there. Next card we have is Rattle Golem. Death Rattle resummon with -1/1. So starts off with 9 mana, 9/9. I think me and Miss Elbow were talking about this card the other day, and we did state that it can be a little slow in some cases, because sometimes for 9 mana, you want to be doing something with that mana, and sometimes just slamming down a body can feel rough. That being said, on HS Replay, the win rate of this card was exceptionally high, so it's definitely doing its job. I think it's still going to be A, though. I know a lot of people probably think it would, but I don't know, I think in some cases, this can be very, very slow. And Arena's not about slow right now. No siree. Unless you're priest. Of course, it's always priest. Anyway, next one we have is Ringmaster Wraith. So draw a mech, dragon, and pirate, all of which are possible in this current meta. I actually don't think it's that bad. It is a little understated though, so I'll chuck it in D tier, but having drawing warrior is actually really important. So if you're offered like 3 very bad legendaries, I think this is not the end of the world. Especially, yeah, if you have those cards in your deck, I think it's actually quite worth it. But yeah, usually I'd say it's about a D tier. Next card we have is Rosara. After a friendly minion attacks and survives, give it +1/+1. This card is actually insane. I really, really, really like this card. I've seen so many people win games based off this. Like, if you cannot remove any of the minions, then you're just like, huh. Well, that happens. It's just, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. It's kind of like, I'm kind of torn between A and B. I think I'll go A. Because, like, if you're ahead on board, you're basically buffing all the minions that you end up value trading with. Or even if you play on an empty board, you can, like, value trade and it gains stats. I really like Rosara. I think it's very useful. And then the last card we have is Cleaver. After your hero attacks, recruit a minion. Now this weapon's hilarious because I've had situations where I've summoned a 1/1 with this. And then you have other occasions where you may summon a Grommash. Like, there is endless possibilities of what you can summon. So it really depends on your deck with this weapon, but I do think it's a really good weapon. I'm going to chuck in C tier because of the random effects. But most of the time, this card can be pretty good. I just don't think this card is as good as these ones, and that's why it's, like, here. So yeah, that's my tier list for Warrior, so nothing in S tier. I guess if I was to really, really push, I would say... It's kind of hard to say. Maybe Rattle Golem does belong in S, but I don't know. It's never been great for me. To be honest, Overlord may be the best. Yeah, I think the closest would be Overlord. I think it'd go like Overlord, Rattle Golem, Lord Baroff. I think that's the way I would rank them. But yeah, no, you can see why Warrior's actually quite high up there. They have some very premium legendaries, and they also have some very premium commons, rares, you know, the lot. It's just an amazing class, and yeah, I can see why it's at the top right now. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me blabber on about tier lists and so what. I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.